Hello, I'm Kai McTeague, and this is my presentation of learning. So most of you, if you know me well enough, know that I'm not much of a reader, but after being assigned a book project of having to read 30 books this year, I have taken on more reading, and I'm so excited about one of my books that I'm going to use it to take you on my journey of first semester. So throughout this presentation, in order to make it more interesting, well, first of all, this semester wasn't very easy, so I wasn't going to make guessing the book easy either. So, as I present to you my skills, you're going to listen to the skills and the book. You will be given a hint on the book, and then if you guess the book at the end, you win a candy cane. So, my first skill is the perfect thesis statement. In MPX 9, we didn't really work on thesis statements as much. So, when I came into MPX 10, and we started doing all these thesis statements, I kind of struggled, and it took me a while to really get the hang of the perfect thesis statement. And what I learned, what makes a good thesis statement is being specific and clear, so don't use words like things or like. It should be easy to understand not only to you, but also to your viewers. Usually brief, so about 2 to 3 sentences. It should have 3 facts to back it up, and lastly, it should be interesting. So an example of a thesis statement that my partner and I did for a Civil War project was this one. Our society's medical advancements have increased dramatically in the past 100 years. The possibilities of medical transportation are endless. From the Civil War ambulances, which would sometimes take up to 3 days, for medical assistance, to modern-day helicopters, which can cover the same distance in 45 minutes. Medical transportation has dramatically evolved due to air ambulances. It is faster, more efficient, and saves hundreds and thousands of lives every year. And this is a piece of artwork that was inspired by that thesis statement. So we basically tried to use that thesis statement to show the evolution of transportation. So this is where your first hint comes in. In my book, the main character had to face many difficult tasks, and that took a lot of practice, and one of those tasks was hunting. They had to learn how to shoot an arrow so perfectly in order to kill an animal, and sometimes it wasn't always an animal. In order to stay alive, person sometimes had to kill people. So how is this related to my learning? While creating a thesis statement, you really have to be specific on your words, and so just like my main character in the book, she had to really practice and practice to get the perfect shot to kill an animal. I had to practice and practice to find the perfect words to create the thesis statement. Skill 2, acting in front of an audience. In MPX, we do a lot of presentations all the time. We always are working on presenting in front of people, but this Revolutionary War project was really different because it wasn't just being yourself in front of an audience, it was being another character in front of an audience. So what we had to do is we had to write a play about a revolutionist in the war. We had to perform it in front of an advanced acting class, and then we had to perform it in front of a live audience. So this was really difficult because we had to put ourselves into the shoes of someone else, and it wasn't just being yourself. You really had to use your emotions and the way you held your body to represent different characters. And this is a picture working in front of the advanced acting class. And this is what my second hint to you. In my book, the main character spoke very courageously all the time, and she was always holding her head high, and she could capture an audience by her emotions or her actions. So I use this as an inspiration to play my character on stage in the Revolutionary War project. I learned that not only is it about your emotions, but it's also about the way you carry yourself. So for example, if I was going to portray an old man, and I stood like this and said my line like this, you would never know I was an old man. But if I was like hunched over and like with a cane, you would know I was an old man. So it's not just your emotions, but it's also the way you carry yourself. Scale 3, researching. For the Civil War project and the Revolutionary War project, it was a lot of researching before the outcome, and it's really important to make sure your research is good because we have so much access to information all over the internet, but it doesn't mean that it's all factually correct. So first I started with the library resources, and then I went to the books, and once I couldn't find anything more in there, I went to broader sources. But my lesson from this is that you shouldn't speed through your resources or your resources because that predicts your outcome. So this is where your third hint falls into place. The main character and an ally try to blow up a group called the Career Pack Source of Food in hope to starve them. But before they did that, they did their research on the group. So they studied their movement and their daily routine, and they ended up succeeding in blowing up their food. But if it wasn't for the research they'd done beforehand, they probably would not have succeeded in blowing up the food, or they could have been killed. So it is important to take your time and do good research because the better your research, the better your outcome. Scale 4, problem solving. We built catapults in physics to learn the laws of motion. However, it was difficult because my group and I made like a few we had little issues with building our catapult. So first what we did was we looked at other models of catapults, and then we created our own scale model, and then we built our own catapult. A few issues we had was with the frame and the PCP pipe and the wooden support. As you can see right here, this is a picture of a group's frame with the wood facing up. Ours was flat down. So at first we thought we did that wrong, but in the end we kind of figured it out and it worked out fine. This, however, is supposed to be on the other side of the catapult. So we figured because it was on this side, there was a higher chance of the wood snapping. So in order to fix that, we added cushion. So basically, that's how we fixed our solution. This is where our fourth hint falls into place. In the book, one of my favorite parts is the main character volunteers as a tribute for her little sister. So she did this to benefit her family. How is this related to my learning? The main character made a quick and wise decision to benefit her family, and in our group while doing these catapults, we had to make quick and wise decisions to benefit our grade. So rather than dwelling on our mistakes, we moved forward together and compromised. Scale 5, group work to go beyond expectations. Working in a group is never easy, especially if there's extracurricular activities, and a lot of the times what happens is the work isn't split evenly. So for the Revolutionary War project, due to the fact we had to write a play and then we had to come to school and combine it and then map it all out and act it out, my group had a hard time combining it, and it took us a while to get to the flow of actually performing our play. So in order to take our project to the next level, we really wanted to put in extra time. So we came in before and after school. This is a picture again of us working in front of the advanced acting group. So they would critique us, and then we improved our plays from there. And this is where your fifth hint falls into place. My main character was very passionate about her family and friends. She would do anything to benefit their lives, and so that was the reason she volunteered for her sister. So in this fifth skill, how does this relate to my learning? My group and I was really passionate about learning, and we weren't going to let anything get in the way of that. So we really put in extra time because we wanted to make sure that we get the most out of this project. Thank you. Did anyone guess the book?
I'm hungry.
Who didn't guess the book?
Wait, but then who gets the candy cane?
Who raises their hand first?
Okay.
That's exactly 10 minutes long. It's almost like we practiced in time to give her a hand. All right, questions. Who is thinking?
Question. Leo?
Were you actually thinking about Katniss?
I was. I honestly was.
What?
Anything else? Yes, Kendall?
What skill do you think was like the most important skill that you learned, or the one that you,
I feel like a lot of them were really beneficial, and I used a lot of them, but the one that I really, really feel like I improved on was the researching part. In the Civil War and the Revolutionary War projects, I did more research than I've ever done in my life, and it was good quality research, and I really worked hard on those projects in terms of research. So I feel like making sure you get all your research done and getting the right research is really important, and I really learned that the better your research, the better your outcome is. So I think that's one of the biggest ones.
Most superheroes have an inner demon that they fight, sort of gives them attention as they work through their problems. In your character, what's the thing you struggle with that you have to overcome to really learn as well?
You mean just as a person, or in the play? I think maybe. Ooh, this is a hard question, Mr. Hine. Can I get back to you on that? Did you
I
understand?
was just wondering if we could talk about same kind of question about the demon, but in terms of you started your presentation and you said you don't think of yourself as a leader. And I'm wondering how the future assignment has, if that's shifted at all as a result of the books.
Yeah, definitely, because before this project, I didn't really read many books, just because, I don't know, I preferred other things. But after being forced, kind of, in a way, to read books, I found an interest in learning more. So it's definitely pushed me to read more books and go beyond my boundaries.
Are there some books that you find more engaging than others?
Yeah, mostly historical fiction. Just because or maybe not historical fiction, but science fiction. Just because I like the books that I fly through, just wanting to know what's next.
Well, wait, let me repurpose your question for you.
Okay.
I think what I was trying to get to was, what is the thing you struggle with most to achieve your dreams?
My what?
The thing you struggle with that to get to that. We all have things that we have to work on ourselves. So what's one of the things that you as a learner have to work on to be better at how you see the environment?
I think it's the main ones of paying attention, staying on task, and basically going beyond the expectations. Because sometimes I'll in the beginning of a project I'll be super excited, and then I'll get into it, and then I'll be well, this is hard, I'm lazy. So I kind of fall back a little, or I don't push as hard as I usually can. So I think it's just pushing to go beyond the expectations when I get lazy.
I appreciate you not just telling us what the struggle is, but the ways that you're trying to address it.
Right.